Hey, rubber band honeys, this shit keep on coming. I'm thumbing, move like a mummy. The drip.
So, who are we with today?
Hi, I'm Slade Mead.
And we're just going to ask you some questions about how you find awe in the outdoors. So, how do you find awe?
How do I find awe in outdoors? I think there are a couple ways to look at it. One is just visiting the outdoors. When you come across a scene that's just absolutely spectacular, whether it's going down the Grand Canyon on a rafting trip, or whether you're in South Africa and you're in Kruger Park and you just see nature in its finest, that is an awe moment. The other place I think you find awe is taking other people to places you've seen before and you know what their reaction is going to be. And I can remember, for instance, taking a group of Trinity Pauling kids in the dark up to the top of Lion's Head, which is a pinnacled mountain in Cape Town. And you get to the top in the dark, and then you see the sunrise.
Wow.
And the city's below you, and the moment of awe is defined looking at the kids. It's an indescribable sensation of watching them blown away by the scenery.
We talked about South Africa a lot just right there. What makes South Africa so appealing to you?
I've been hooked, and I hear this happens a lot of times, that when people visit South Africa, they very often want to go revisit South Africa. The mountains are incredible. The oceans, the Indian Ocean is warm water, so you have a whole different type of marine biology happening than you do on the cold Atlantic Ocean. There are dramatic cliffs, there are beautiful beaches, there are some vistas that are just awe-inspiring, to use your theme. And actually, with the trips that I've done with Trinity Pauling, we've gone outside. We've gone to Botswana, and there's some pretty awe-inspiring moment. There's a place we went on called Eagles Rock that is one of the top 10 most beautiful places I've ever seen. It's sort of like the beginning of Lion King, because you're so high and you look out and you can see elephants over there. Oh, those are hippos over there. Oh my God, check it out. There's a lion pride over there. You're looking at, like, I don't know, 20 square miles of savanna. And then this past year, I took the guys to Namibia, where the largest sand dunes in the world are, and climbing Big Daddy, the second largest sand dune in the world. Well, first off, I thought I was going to die from a heart attack, and I didn't, but the kids scamper up it, and then just listening to them talking on the ride back, that is awe. To be on a sand dune that's 300 meters high.
So, if you could find, like, what would you tell someone that's trying to find their own awe in the outdoors? Like, they know they like looking at the outdoors, but if you could help somebody really find what they're looking for, what would you tell them?
If they were anything but a senior, they should go on the South African trip next March. I will promise them at least one moment of awe, probably every 2 to 3 hours of the trip. When a kid goes over Chapman's Peak, and you can look it up, it's hard to describe it. You're thousands of feet right above the ocean, and if you look out to sea, you might see a pod of whales go by, or seals. You can see sharks from up there. It's pretty awe-inspiring. There's a wonderful movie called Searching for Sugar Man, and the opening scene is on Chapman's Peak. And Searching for Sugar Man won the Academy Award for Best Documentary about 10 years ago. And everybody, in my opinion, should watch that movie. There's the shot of awe, but the story itself is pretty good. It's very good.
That's great. Thank you very much. All right, who are we with today?
Keith Tucci.
All right, so how do you find awe in the outdoors?
Well, I would say the first place I find awe is Lake Champlain, Vermont. And for two reasons. One being that you catch a large plethora of species of fish there. So I would say the one great thing is that there's so many species of fish, and catching fish I find exciting and challenging. And then the second part is the scenery there with the green mountains and the sunsets, and there's just something special for me about that lake. The third thing is that I do it with my sons and my nephew and my brother. So scenery, fish, and family.
What about the fish and all different types of fish that are at that lake give you the awe? Is it the different, like, you never know what's coming up when you hook one?
Yeah, I think it's you're not sure what will be. Typically you kind of fish for a certain species, but you always get surprises. So if you're fishing for lake trout, you might get a brown trout, you might get a bass, or if you're fishing for pike, you might get a sheephead or a smallmouth. So it's not knowing exactly what you're gonna pull up. And it's also fun watching other people pull up species that you're not sure what's coming up. So that I find that exciting.
And what about the scenery makes it so different where you can find awe there every time you go back?
I think it's the size of the lake. I think that has something to do with it. But there's something about the sunsets there that are just different. And you have the mountain scenery. You have a little bit of houses around the lake, but it's not really heavily populated, so it's a lot of nature and it's a lot of islands, and so anywhere you're fishing, you're seeing different scenery, and because the lake is so big, it's I think that makes it give it some awe.
You don't see something so big every day.
Exactly.
So it's
yeah.
just something you get to see often. They're always good to go back.
Yes, when we go back every year, we usually go in June. So it's kind of a traditional thing too. So that's fun.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Your mama be worried, oh, it was all part of the story. Even the scary nights, thank you for all of the glory.